Hello, welcome to my channel, Arc Dragon Blade Gaming slash DIY project. And today I am showing how to slap this mod on your PS4 heatsink. I'm putting it underneath it, so I'm gonna remove this last nut. After that, it'll be boom, slap and done. Easy peasy. But first we're gonna take off this last little nut there. So I already got everything pretty much pre-start and done. Let me adjust this camera, there you go. Anyway, you can see the last little adapter nut, so I'm gonna take that off so it'll be a nice surface to work with, mostly smooth. So it took a moment to adjust the wrench to it, and then just take my time and just take it off. I'm too lazy to just let it go, more or less. Yeah, there you go. Good enough. It just took a moment to take them off. So you got the basic ideals how, if you have a 610 graphic card is no longer used, it's been burned out. It still have parts that have purpose on it, like the fan, the heatsink, maybe a few of the capacitor could salvage if you might need them near future. So I'm just salvage what I can and reuse it and repurpose them, and this time I'm modded on my PS4. So whatever the case is, I'm gonna try, remove that small little mod I have. It worked, but not that great. And remember, we got screws you had to take off and remove this little puny little thing. Granted, it does its job, but it's not. It keep the PS4 cool enough as not kicking high speed during heavy gameplay. So I'm gonna fill all these little nipples for the VRAM or memory, whatever they use, and power management chip, whatever it is. So I'm gonna go ahead and start taking them apart. The usual. If you already know how to take your PS4 parts, I already have on my thing I put up how to general maintain your PS4. But this is a Slim, so this is my own PS4. I don't use it the case or the case come with it or the skin of the PS4. I just kind of leave the case open so a better airflow for me. I never use it because I think it's a restriction, and besides I don't have no kids or no one will come in my room except for me. So after I moved all that, take out the SSD drive out, because that's what I use, and I'm need to remove the last two bolts from the top. So let's make sure you go through your homework and make sure you got all the screws. But I'm trying to figure which one is it, so I'm just saying screw it, just take most of them off. And look, I have a security Torx. It's so nice to have a proper tools, not like a flat screwdriver and try to wedge it between that little nipple in the screw or the whatever that thing is. This on my last video what I had to use for other jewelry tools to get things I need to get done. But yeah, just take off those last little 4 screws, get a little adjustment, just try to wiggle out because I don't want to disassemble completely. And plus I get a good check how the heatsink is. For 1 year it's not getting clogged, so it's doing pretty good. Missed one screw, but there you go. And you notice it's been modified already because I already cut the piece, and also the heat pad has been burnt a little bit. So I'm gonna still use it. I'm gonna just sift it a little bit, and you notice that a little bit of thermal paste because I try to keep the system cool. Try to transfer much heat out of it. Probably doesn't need it, but I just add a little dab to squeeze out any air bubble outs. That's all I did really. You can tell I already done all of them. So yeah, I'm gonna fill all that and remove my other heatsink out and put a nice fat juicy one. And yes, I wet sanded it, so I have a clean surface to prep to soldering, because I don't know what this protection coat is they use. So I'll just go ahead remove that with a 200 grit sandpaper. So this is gonna take a moment, and you can tell it start to work. And after that, look, it's shiny. all the protective coat is now off, so it's ready to solder directly on the heatsink to it. Yes, I'm gonna solder all of it. So I'm gonna probably go fill the holes first, and give me a moment, I'm switching something over. So here the heatsink, or also a little sanding as well for prepping for the soldering. So I'm not gonna use thermal paste, but I don't know how this gonna plays out, so I'm kind of winging by ear and see this little trick work. So first I'm gonna fill up the nipples, or the when they stamp the metal when it's made at factory. So cut a little soldering off, fold it in there, see that will fill it. It's gonna take a minute, so yeah. Okay, after that was all said and done there, maybe adjust the camera, zoom in. So I'm gonna use a torch. I'm gonna superheat this whole thing and see this work. And it looks like I need more. Man, I thought it'd be enough, but apparently it isn't. So I guess I'm gonna add more. Hopefully it doesn't eat all my resources. So kind of feeling this is like a flex core type of soldering, so I already have that stuff in there, so it's gonna be a messy, very messy setup. A messy mod. Well, at least it's burning off, so it won't be too bad. But the smell, kind of, so lovely. It does not smell pleasant, actually. But maybe preheat the whole soldering, and then yeah, start working, filling up, fire. Remember kids, if you go do this, I recommend have well circulation and certain kind of air purifier like I do in my room, so it removes some of the smell. So a little more preheating here. Try to fill them all up, because all I'm doing here just increase that thermal mass really. So it could transfer from the chip to the plate to the heatsink. Try to eliminate any air bubbles, I want to say. So I'm having issues with my my little torch, because I had to use that other torch to light this one. This one is like my pre-nighter, and this one is my main. But it's coming along. It just take a while. After I get it started, the starting part seemed having a little issue. Just pee all the areas up, and there we go. And doesn't smell the smell is, like I say, a little raunchy. But try to keep them even. You might add more, because you know, thermal expansion and contraction that also come into play, so you might add more. So I'm gonna go ahead and continue filling up, and you guys enjoy and watch. doing visual inspection. There's no warping, everything looked good. So yeah, everything looks solid to a certain point. So I'm ready to go to the next phase. Get the heat sink, get it prepped to solder to the plate. So give me a moment on this and maybe see how I'm gonna plan this out. So this is my plan. Just get it hot enough to kind of stick on there, so when I do sandwich it, sorry the camera's slightly out of focus, but can't be helped. But I'm just getting prepped for next phase. What to say? Just heat it up so it stick on the plate. So when I slap the two together, it'd be fine to a certain degree. So I'm not aiming for perfection. I'm just aiming for, try to stick two heat plates together and see that work. At this point, I'm kind of accelerate the saturation of the heatsink so it could absorb a little bit more of the soldering. And just realized, that's not a good idea. So I'm trying to find something, have like a little barrier between my little table and the heatsink. So I found that little heatsink I use and just slap it on there and then try heat saturate the heatsink to as much as it could so it kind of stick on, the solder to stick on to the heatsink. So that's what I'm doing. Just heat it up, focus heat in certain area because aluminum could transfer heat and not go warp. It's a thick metal, so this will be fine. I'm using two heat sinks to kind of speed up the process. In this moment, it took a while, so enjoy how I done it and run with it. Okay, that looked fine. Now we just go to the next phase. I'll probably have to heat soak it. So I'm trying to figure out what's the best way to do it. How I'm gonna apply this out. You kind of have to get yourself ready, and then you have to put something underneath it, like a heat sink or heat plates or something, because I'm gonna use a lot of heat. I mean a lot. So pretty much you go reheat everything. I have the heat sink there so I can apply more heat on it. Evenly heat so it won't warp or bend, because you will warp it if you're not careful enough to even hit around the whole plate. So this is gonna take a moment, just reheat it, and also just get ready for the joinment of two pieces together. Okay, that should be it. Oh, god damn it, I forgot about that. Oh well, let's go. It got thermal paste on it, so I don't know how to move that. At least it's transfer heat I don't want. And I had to clean it later, so yeah, let's try to push it in place. But it looks like I need more readjustments. And yeah. Ah, damn it, I had to clean that. But anyway. Go ahead and torch it. You can see that little flame. I'm heating, but the camera's too close. But maybe adjust it. There you go. I'm just heat saturated again. Just a lot of heat. So this is gonna take a moment. Just soak it up. Take your time in it. Make sure you're well ventilation room, because you know that stuff starts to smell again. So like I said, plenty of heat, patience, and so hopefully this mod works. So ab at it, and then just do minor readjustments if you need to. When you heat soak it, it'll take a moment. So you know, this is gonna take a lot longer, so try to figure out what's the best way to do it. Get some more soldering, just put it right there, just get it started. So that's kind of toasty. You know what, just give me a moment. Okay, it took me a while off camera. And you can tell I put a lot of heat in the middle, but it didn't warped. It looks solid. You can see the little bead coming out. Like I said earlier, I used those little holes to put more of the soldering in there, so it kind of fill out, and it's really rock solid. And I use that other heatsink to lift up the whole place, so I'm not burning my table. This thing was hot. But you know, it didn't burn through my table. It's good. And you can see some of the pool of soldering. If I cleaned that off, so move this out of the way. Yeah, it's pretty much solid on. I make sure everywhere. I make sure I got that crap off. I had to use water to cool it back down, but I wait like 5 minutes before I soak it with water. You can see it all beat out, and it's solid. It took a while to get it took about extra hour, and the camera died on me. So I saw you where the holes I used to solder, and you see start beating out over there. Granted, it's not pretty, but who gonna see it's underneath it? I'm trying to pick some of this stuff off. See, you notice the heatsink didn't move off, so it's a good soldering point. You know you done good. It's a really messy situation. It took, like I said, like a whole hour, and I tried to clear it out, and I'm like, I can't pick it off. Some I could pick off easily. Just kind of scrape most of the things off. See they come off or not. You can see the bead right there, kind of oozing out, and some came off the other side underneath the heatsink. So it's been a very successful soldering to the heat, or the shield of the PS4, the heatsink. I don't know what you call it, FR seal, gang, I don't know. Try to pull it out, make sure everything's, you know, double check my work. Camera is out focus, of course, but I'm just checking everything looks solid. Sorry, the camera's out of view, so give me a moment to do final adjustments in here and there. But you can see I use needle nose to pick stuff out, and they're coming out. Not pretty, you could tell. Focus. There you go. There's quite a few, and it's solid. It's a mod I want to do. You don't have to do it. Just if you gotta do it, just have patience. it took a while for me. Okay, after, you know, a couple knocks, make sure it's not coming off, and I clean the best I can. And I'm probably gonna have to sand it. I'm trying to figure, let's see how I could, oh, yeah, I just realized something. It's screwed underneath the heatsink, and I don't feel like drilling holes, so it's okay. I got a cool pad, it's fine. It's gonna be sitting on top of my cool pad, so it's solid, it's good to go. So yeah, next step. Doing this progress, I did drop a good soldering puddle there. I could fix it later. Anyway, let's go ahead for final assembly. Let me adjust my camera again. Now, I did readjust all the thermal pads, so let me zoom on there. See, they're all there with a little bit, you know, thermal paste on it still, cause I'm lazy. It should be fine. It should be great. I did rearrange a little bit, make sure they're all evenly not torn like I did earlier or burn out. And the fun part is, let's stick it together. Pretty much going backward. This is pretty much same thing everyone do when it maintenance, and yes, just not pretty. But I want to see it go work before I do final detail and cleaning up. And I'm putting the screw in a certain way because I'm afraid I warped it a certain degree, so I'm like doing cross star panel ish. So it evenly pressed the whole, the thermal pads, the plate back in the motherboard, put everything back together evenly, because I use a lot of heat. You can see burn marks in the metal, how much heat I use. So yeah, just take your time. If it does warp, like I say, star panel and slowly tighten it down like you're tightening down the intake manifold of the engine evenly. So hear me just plug it away. I think I'm missing some screws, but it's fine. This is a quick test anyway. This is not the final product yet, so I'm just putting everything together, make sure it works after this mod, and see what, you know, it work or not. I don't have any special tools to monitor the temperature, so near future I might do that. But this is for me, for seeing giggles, like, will this increase a little performance? So let's fast forward next step after I clean it and put things together. So here my cool pad been modified with a 200mm fan underneath it. So I don't really need another fan. And let's go over my computer and my gaming monitor. I'll hook up to it. Press a button. See, it works. It boot up. That's a good sign. Now we just wait. And wait. We just sit down and enjoy. Yeah. Oh yeah, maybe change the settings. For some reason I don't want to switch over. I'll automatically switch over to my computer, to my PS4. Oh look. First line sign to life. So it look okay. It seem okay. Booting up okay. It seemed a little snappy, like it should. Yeah, I think this mod is a success. Hopefully it give you guys an idea to mod your own PS4. If you do, cool. Hope this video give you a kind of stepping stone. If you like the video, give it a like, share, and subscribe. You guys take care.